Hello everyone. Welcome to the second edition of Indian Stents Get Updated. I'm Viveka Roy Chaudhary from Express Healthcare. Today, we are speaking to Dr. Patrick Siegrist of Zurich, Switzerland, who talks about the importance of data to back clinical trials of the new interventional cardiology technologies which are entering into the market. Dr. Patrick, thank you for speaking to Express Healthcare. You're an interventional cardiologist. You're based in Zurich. So can you tell us about the focus of your research?
My research is actually clinically focused, not so much basic research. I also spent actually 5 years in Japan, working in Japan, and there we had the concept of imaging-guided PCI, which is an interesting concept, and that's why I still focus my research also on imaging. So in the cath lab, doing imaging in most of the patients with IVS, with OCT, but also before going to the cath lab with CT is one of the concepts for imaging-guided PCI. And there is one major focus. And the other focus is, of course, also participating in randomized clinical trials and registries. That's what we do in the university hospital, in a university setting. Also, for example, testing new devices, first-in-man studies. We just concluded one of these, and that's another research focus of mine.
Okay, so you talked about being part of many trials, and I believe that the gold standard for a trial is a randomized clinical trial. But how close are these results to what you see in the clinic? Are they really comparable? And if they are not, then how can they be? How can the study design be tweaked so that your trial results are mimicking more what you see in clinical trials,
That's
especially for the new generation stents that are coming out?
Yes.
As an interventional cardiologist, you would like to see a lot of data before you use a new device in the market.
I like to collect them by myself, just
Okay.
not only see. But you are addressing a very important issue, of course, because randomized clinical trials, they do not really depict the picture that we see in the everyday practice. So for randomized clinical trials, we have inclusion and exclusion criteria, and especially for new devices, they are very strict. So we have to select a very chosen group of patients for these trials, which then not reflect so much the real world. So that is a bit of a problem we have when we interpret these randomized clinical trials. This is a very selected group of patients which then do not reflect the everyday world.
But I believe you do have randomized clinical trials which are all-comer trials, like the TALENT trial, which has already completed 2 years.
They are.
So is that meeting one part of the criteria and trying to bridge that gap?
We can call them all-comer trials, but still there is inclusion and exclusion criteria. And I'm surprised in my everyday life how patients are then different from these trials and how many we can still not use. Or you have the problem with crossovers, for example. You select them for the one arm of treatment and then they end up in the other arm of treatment, or they withdraw consent during the studies, or the follow-up is lost. And there is lots of such problems which we have to deal in our everyday life as clinicians and trialists.
Okay. So again, when you're a clinician and when you're a trialist, it requires a different mindset also. So how are you training your next generation of interventional cardiologists, giving them the benefit of your insight over the many years that you've been both a clinician and a trialist?
Be critical. Look at everything and ask questions about everything. Don't take another opinion just because this is a grained mind. But make your own opinion and be critical. Ask questions and look closely.
Okay. And also today's patient is asking doctors a lot more questions because they tend to Google everything online
correct.
before they come. In India, we have the practice of people shopping around for second opinions and third opinions. I'm not sure that this is the case in Zurich as well. But how do you deal with a patient who presents to you, and do you have a varied genetic profile of patients who come to you? So when a patient comes to you, are you seeing different trends in your clinical practice when it comes to cardiology patients?
We also have this problem, of course, in my country, that patients are nowadays Googling their diseases, Googling their treatments, and they have a clear opinion on what they want. Not that it is the best one, but that they come and have actually a lot of questions. which I has to answer. And my opinion is to be honest and to advise the patients like I would advise my own family. That is always what I do. I accept different opinions of different doctors. Maybe another good doctor has another opinion, but I give the advice I would give to my mother or to my father if it comes to treatment.
Okay. Doctor, in medical technology, as with all technology, there is a lot of change and new technologies, new techniques coming into the market. In the coming decade, we are at the beginning of the decade of 2020. In the coming decade, what do you think are going to be the new changes that you're looking forward to in terms of new generation stents or in terms of techniques and technologies? Anything that you are watching very closely as a trialist as well as a clinician?
It has been difficult to develop new boundary breaking products in interventional cardiology because the stent we have available now are actually working very, very well. And we have seen that with the scaffold stents, which were not bad, but just not performing as good as the present stents, the drug-eluting stents of the newest generations we have. Now, newer studies and newer products are focusing on SYNSTRUT products, SYNSTRUT stents, which is a very interesting concept. So the endothelialization is occurring earlier, and we can reduce maybe the antiplatelet therapy, the duration. So this is an interesting concept. And one other of my focuses is actually complex PCI and CTO interventions. So also in this field, I think a lot of development still can be done so that we can perform complex PCI and CTO PCIs more safely and more effectively. That is probably a field that has a little bit potential for developing still, the development.
Okay. Dr. Patrick, thank you so much for speaking to Express Healthcare and being part of the Indian Stents Get Updated series.
Thank you also.
That was Dr. Patrick Segrist speaking to us about his experience as a clinical cardiologist as well as a clinician who is also part of various trials. Thank you for watching Express Healthcare and Indian Stents Get Updated. Do follow us to get more updates on this channel. Thank you.